Hey everybody, Douglas Blair Roberts here, the Supervator 400, and of course the brown skinned human here, back at you with another review. And this time, this is another tie-in review. This is my second review of Dragon Ball Super Broly. Only this time, I'm reviewing both the movie and its awesome but overlooked soundtrack that goes with the film. Yeah, like I said, this is another tie-in review where I review two things together. In this case, it's the movie and its soundtrack. Yeah, like I said in my previous Super Brawly review, love this movie. Love this movie. However, the problem I had with the first review is that, well, besides the fact it's dated now, because the first review, if you check the first part, it reflects my old place where I used to stay. But if you check this part right here, it's reflects where I stay now, where I stay currently. And the my first couple of viewings of Super Brawly, I was blown away. I was blown away. I couldn't find any flaws with the film. That was up until I rewatched it a couple of times. And in this video, I will talk about what I liked about the film, but also what I didn't like about the film. But as you know, for those of you expecting another, for those of you who are regulars to the Doug 8798 channels and my YouTube channels and are expecting a Dragon Ball rant, not this time. There will be there will be some criticisms, but not this time. I actually enjoyed this Dragon Ball product. Probably the first purely Dragon Ball Akira Toriyama project I've enjoyed in a long time. In a long time. But make no mistake about it. One of the only reasons this movie was good, as I will talk about in part two, the narration portion, was because my boy Brawly is now canon. If there's more Dragon Ball material with him, I want to see it. So with that being said, let's get this video started right now. Doesn't matter what you think, because I'm the hero of this channel. All right, time for the second intro song. Listen up, listen up, listen up. This is part two of my second review and remake of my first review of Dragon Ball Super Broly, which was released in late 2018. But like I said, I saw this movie in January of 2019. So once again, this is not only a 2018 film, this is also a 2019 film for me. This is also a review of the soundtrack and I guess my short thoughts on the sequel. According to Wikipedia, there is a sequel in development, but I haven't looked up anything on that, so there won't be much said about that. But like I said in part one of the main reasons I decided to redo this review right here because my opinions on the movie have changed since seeing it for the first time in January 2019. When I first saw the movie in January of 2019, I was blown away. I was blown away and immediately thought it was the best thing ever until rewatching it several more times and seeing other films like Avengers Endgame, which was later that year, Shazam 2019, Shazam 2019, and rewatching several of my other favorite films from the previous years and television series, and I can then I can spot and see the flaws of this film that I missed the first time watching. First off, before I even get to why this movie was good, the only reason this movie was any good was because of the real star of the film, the draw, and that was Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan himself. Without Broly, if it was another Goku, Vegeta versus Frieza epic, and with Beerus and Wiz involved, it would have been the worst Dragon Ball movie ever, just like the previous two. With, like I've said in plenty of reviews, Dragon Ball Fakatsu no F is the worst Dragon Ball movie of all time, the worst anime movie of all time, the worst animated movie of all time, and finally, the worst comic book movie of all time. And yes, I consider it one of the greatest, one of the worst movies of all time. There are worser movies than this movie, but it is one of the worst of all time. But but the only reason this movie wasn't any of that was because Broly was in the film. Yes, this is another Akira Toriyama Dragon Ball project. Everyone should know by now how much I don't like Akira Toriyama's writing style. This is his writing style, but it's featuring a character not created by him. Broly is a creation of Toei. Toriyama just supplied the artwork for the character, but his creator is not Toriyama, and that's one of the only reasons this movie is good. The second reason is Broly is finally the coolest character, not the greatest character, but the coolest character in the franchise is now canon to Dragon Ball. Is now canon to the Dragon Ball series. Like I said, number three, Broly is not the greatest character of all time. He, however, is the coolest character in Dragon Ball. He brings the badassery, the edginess, and coolness to Dragon Ball. To Dragon Ball. You haven't had a character like that since Future Trunks and the androids. The androids to the canon Dragon Ball universe. But they bring the badassery to Dragon Ball. People try to say Goku, Vegeta. No, Goku and Vegeta are tryhards, especially Vegeta are tryhards. Are tryhard edgy, wanna be edgy, but really just straight up lame and pandering. Broly actually is badass, looks like a badass, carries himself like a badass, and it was just one of the coolest characters ever. The design, the powers, the intensity, the personality, everything. The backstory in the original was weak, but that was only because he had to beef with Goku and the Z Fighters. Here, number four, not only did they make him canon, But Broly, he makes everything and every other character interesting. Goku, Vegeta, and Frieza have to be some of the most boring and lamest protagonists and antagonists of all time. They have little to no redeemable qualities. But Broly being involved in their story makes these things a whole lot interesting. Goku and Vegeta beefing is boring. Goku and Vegeta and Frieza beefing is even more boring. Is even more boring. Goku and Vegeta beefing, Goku and Vegeta beefing with Frieza and Broly makes things it makes things and made this movie even more exciting. It's more exciting and overall more fun to watch. So those are like the only 4 to 5 reasons this movie was good. Is good. Let's get to problems. Let's get to problems with this movie. I was watching, I don't remember his name, but he did a long Dragon Ball Super. He did a long Dragon Ball Super rant. And I'm a Dragon Ball Super Broly rant. And in it he criticized Toriyama for rehashing and plagiarizing ideas from Dragon Ball GT, which of course is not true. Broly's Super Saiyan form is a complete ripoff and rehash of Dragon Ball GT's Super Saiyan 4 form. The link to that video will be in the description box below for people who are watching on YouTube. For people who are watching this on YouTube. But let me continue. And of course, not only plagiarizing that, but even more plagiarizing and ripping off the Man of Steel. Bardock in this movie is more closer to Jor-El than he is Bardock. He is so out of character. He is so out of character in this film. And this film is even more of a ripoff of Superman than the previous Bardock movie. And Man of Steel, Superman, and DC are so much better than this franchise. Other stuff. Of course, I've always forgiven it because I forgave this because it's Broly. But yes, how is wildlife training on a distant planet? On a distant planet where he fought nothing but animals and sparring sessions with his dad, how does that make him able to fight and survive a battle against both Goku and Vegeta? Goku, especially, what kind of training in math is that? I forgive it because it's Broly getting the power up, but yeah, that's the problem I've always had with Dragon Ball. Characters being weak in one arc, then in the next arc through off-screen training or some other unexplained means, these people obtain new skills and powers and godlike power. Like I said, in a martial arts based series, I will never accept that. One of the main reasons I don't like Dragon Ball. See, Dragon Ball is a gag comedy adventure manga with martial arts action and adventure thrown in, comic book material thrown in. That's one of the main reasons I don't like Dragon Ball instead of a straight up martial arts superhero comic book based series like all of the other franchises and movies and series just like it. See, these are the problems I have. Oh yes, the next problem, and I mentioned this problem in the last video. This right here was an animated film, which means this film should have more characters. This is not live action. This is not real life actors in costumes and CGI. No, this is a full-length 2D animation and computer generated anime movie, which means other characters like which means some of the other Z fighters like Gohan and the rest, Gotenks, Tien, Tien and Piccolo should have been involved in this movie. Piccolo was involved in this movie, but he, other than teaching Goku and Vegeta how to do the fusion dance, he didn't have a big role in this movie right here. He didn't have a big role in this movie right here. Then Gohan, Tien, and Gotenks missing. Of course, a friend of mine answered this. A friend of mine actually responded to this, who's a huge fan of Dragon Ball. A friend of mine answered this and told me maybe Goku told Gohan to stay behind because he probably wasn't good enough for the fight. That you can say that, but Gohan is an adult and can do what he wants. Why would he listen? Why would he listen to his dad? And then no cameo. No, not they don't even make a cameo in this film. In this film, the nerfing and bastardization and lobotomizing of the Gohan character continues. Gotenks was nowhere near to be seen in this film. Now they're kids, so I guess that justifies them. Tien Shinhan is missing because he probably can't fight Brawly. But once again, he should have been at least had a cameo appearance. And in Super, he was able to not only participate in the Tournament of Power, but also participate in a tag team sparring match, teaming with Piccolo to fight Gohan and Goku. He was able to spar with Gohan, who is way stronger, should have severely injured Tien. So these are three of the problems. The last problem is the animation. All of the budget went to the action sequences and Broly. This whole film looks like some terrible Japanese cartoon and a bigger budgeted version of the craptastic Dragon Ball Super anime. That's what this entire series looks like. Everyone except Broly, the Super Saiyan transformations looks incredibly ridiculous. There's one scene where Vegeta is fighting Broly, and Vegeta, he hilariously says, Goku, Kakarot, I hope you have some sensu beans left. His face and the way he's drawn was just incredibly stupid and laughable. Then the awkward fusion dance, how poorly Goku and Vegeta were drawn in that scene. Terrible animation. But like I said, the best things about this were the entire storyline, the entire Brawly, the legendary Super Saiyan storyline brought into the actual canon Dragon Ball, made everything and made every character much more interesting. The next best thing was, like I said, the budget went to the fight scenes. All of the fight scenes, with my favorite and best being Brawly versus Gogeta, Wiz, and of course beating the daylights out of Frieza, where Frieza, much to my surprise, managed to last an hour against Brawly. I hate Frieza, so seeing him, Vegeta and Goku get the living daylights beat out of them was worth it. I cheered for Brawly. It was like coming in and watching your favorite rugby, football team, hockey and soccer team, and favorite fighter, boxer, kickboxer come in, and wrestler, MMA fighter come in and beat ass. I cheered for Brawly. I rooted for him. It was, like I said in the previous video, was surprised to see that he wasn't the main antagonist of this movie. I thought Frieza was going to once again fight as a protagonist in this film, and Brawly would be the antagonist, and then that would set up Frieza being the antagonist in the next film. Well, that was the entire Broly movie. Now let's move on to its soundtrack. One of the best and coolest soundtracks ever. Not really memorable though, but an awesome soundtrack. There are 34 tracks, with my favorites being with my favorites being the opening, newly remixed Het Chala song, which shows Goku and Vegeta sparring in the beginning. The 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 Brawly battle soundtracks first. You have Brawly begins to battle when Brawly and Vegeta start fighting. Then when Brawly starts awakening his power, which is called Awakened Power. Then Kakarot versus Brawly, where you hear that awesome Kakarato theme in the beginning before Goku enters the fight. Then Brawly evolves when he starts transforming. Then when Goku starts getting upper hand again, when Piccolo's cameo, prelude to comeback Piccolo's cameo in the film. Then Brawly's rage and sorrow when Frieza kills Paragus with the beam and blames it on the Super Saiyans, and the real legendary Super Saiyan appears. Then of course, will they fuse song? Then the birth of Gogeta, which was awesome. Then the world in danger, which had just this epic key battle between Brawly and Gogeta, one of the most intense battles I've seen in Dragon Ball. Brawly versus Gogeta, Brawly versus Gogeta, and Full Force Kamehameha Wave. Full Force Kamehameha Wave. The friendship with Brawly, which was a cute, delicate, and dramatic and fun-loving song in comparison to the very epic Avengers Star Wars style tracks we were hearing earlier. Then the final song when Goku talks about fighting Brawly again, the I Am Kakarot song. So yeah, that's the entire soundtrack. The soundtrack made everything else, every other character, and everything else in the film even more epic. And as for the sequel to this film, as long as Brawly is involved, I can't wait to watch more Dragon Ball material. As long as Brawly is involved, it has a big role. He is the main reason and the only reason this film was good. So like I said, this was my second remade review of Dragon Ball Super Brawly. I didn't spend as much time on this one as I did the other one, but I still managed to end it quickly. Like I said, this film is good. This film is good. One of the best of 2018 and 19, but not the best film ever. Like I said in what's good, not better than DBE, Avengers, Aquaman, Shazam, Naruto, and many more. Like I said, I had to calm myself down and rewatch it again to see the flaws of this film, but still a good film and the best and most exciting Dragon Ball material in a long time. So, with that being said, I'm finished for now. If you don't want to hear the rest of the song, turn the video off right now. By the way, I'll be using a different outro theme. I'll be using Sonic Heroes Weekend by Tan Poli and Tony Hernell. So with that being said, I'm finished. Turn the video off now if you want to hear the rest of the music.